lom lom le lom lom mai lo
sông cang sông quý cả run lâm xòm
sông cang sông quý cả run lâm xòm đi chân na
At daybreak, in an idyllic Mizo village, there is little indication that something epoch-making is at hand. Going about their normal course of life, the village folks are sitting under the sun, while a beautiful lady is busy clearing off husk from a basket of food grain. Some are engaging themselves in weaving bamboo baskets. Young men like this one, looking forward to spending that day profitably, hits the road toward the jungle for a solo hunting trip. Meanwhile, the sound of the children frolicking out at the village chief's courtyard fills the air in conjunction with nature's own sound. The harvest season has just been over. This year's harvest is a real joy to the community because for 3 consecutive years they were hit by a disastrous famine. It's as if to make up for the earlier loss, nature has showered its blessings. Surplus in every crop production has added to the satisfaction of the community. Because the Mizos love celebrating special occasions with a colorful display of cultural events, surely this turning of tide will not go uncelebrated. No one could be more excited than the village chief himself. Immediately, he summons his village elders for a meeting to decide on a celebration.
Sai lo nu Hmun chu hei bu le bala pomal som na kan donga kan upa te khon bol ho te hi ronila khotlang han frai dan te poi ngai toila thalo mo
thai ti te chuan ti kan tianga ni mai lo
ani chuan khon bol te ronang miang tiri chuan no pang tek po khan ko la
chem te chem te lo ho te hei ipana tir du che
ka lo ka le nghe ni ka pa
nguri tlang awa ko ro
ole ka pa kan nga lang ya lao pa lo ka le
cùng là mà khăn nó mình cái ngà nên tệ hay
bố mà khăn lao bao mềm
ô mẹ
nghe nít ta
lên lên nó cầu che
ô lê cả lục cân ha lê nghe nít ta lê lal pa
khon bol upa te an zain va ko khom ro le
ô lê lal pa.
So, off the village crier goes, calling every village elder at their place.
Runi pa omo lal pa in khon bol upa ho ro re turina ko cheu ni chu
ole ka lo ka la be sem te hey ka thiam nang ta hi lalin min ko wangin ilo da thadonia ka kalange lal ko na chuan.
As usual, the village elders leave their work and promptly head toward the chief's house, wondering what might have been the issue at hand, and little do they know that a grand celebration has been thought of by their respected chief. No other meeting would be more favorable to immediately resolve an agenda. As they sit down, the delighted chief immediately puts forth his idea of celebration.
Nghe ta le lal pa hay rô rèl chú con này lom lệ hay mình đang pon ông tôi lâu thành xuân rô rèl thì cái gì ta hay lệ cái hai cậu khom săn chú ini khó chim khua hi cùng thum tệ mèo mày sinh tam cần tua ra tràm puin mình tlak buộc anh đi hết tiếng khua nu mal som na te cần lâu đông ta ni ngài chuan khot lang sai run pui te poi siam ve ila tha in ka han khia chung sei ho tur chong han ko khom chawnia amai ro chu ngurinu hian nge mo angai dan ve ni reng le
lalpa in chút tiếng xây tổ nó mình ròn về xí chuan hey cùng thum zết mấy thing bụi tràm gần tua ra cùng lì na bộ lệ bal mal som na kan han tel ta kan bu te chu chong in chong et ut ta mai sia khotlang ina ruala se rual in rot chu atha ka ti khop mai
ani mo ani chuan thagi pa hingai mai ngai dan ni vele
le lalpa I thu chu a fingin a fel khop mai I rem ruat le ngai dan chu ka trom pui che
kogi pa ngai dan se vero le nang
lalpa I rot na tu tha ka ti khop mai kum thum lai mai tram pui mi thi kan lo ma chon to heti tak maya khuan zara kan lo hausata hi alom na siam chu tha ka ti khop mai
ni mo ni chuan lal thom pa chu ingai dan ten soi ve te
tia kan lalpa ina khotlang choi khom te 100 chu aromum le bule sa tam don siele chu in som ton te chi la nula tlang walo in lom thang te phei chu in som nge ngai tu ti la tha do lo moni le
chutia kan rem titlang ani chuan hun le ni te hi ang tinge kan han ti ang le han soi le tu khai
de lalpa chu tianga a hun le ni turte min ron ani chuan hei kha ade tir chawani maya kha ar kai den hun lai te po hi ruat tai la aremi ti mai lo mo
khai le chu kan lu fa rual ve chutia kan lu rual te chuanin khotlanga sai run pui ni te kan siam thei don ani chuan awa han lomam don ve khotlanga in fiat tir na te siamila in tinin sai turin in ruam manila luisa beimin luisa khomwal sa timin khomwal sa chutilam timi lo te poin in tinin arva sai ni kan siam don ani khim maya thang e ti chuanin tlang au pa te po tir tamai ila chang te dengila lim the ang berin hunin mang don te ang miang
ni lalpa I rot na chu a tha khopin ka ringa anga lel om to hle mai
ani mo ani chu tia kan rem tia kan lu rual tlang ani chuan he hun kan hman dan tura te poina ming te po hi siama va thom ve hei Pawl tlak tha te lo nia Pawl Kut te po kan han ti do ne miang le
a tha khopang chu lalpa Pawl tlak tha lo ne Pawl Kut han ti kha ain me riu mai ka pom zong takani ka du zong takani
tha kan lu rual me mo chuti ni chuan khotlang te po hiat ti rangai nga chumi ma chuan tlang pa zubel han choi chok te le awa han lo mo ve
thì nó sang chú có nghe anh không đôi này mà rim lại thôi tuy nó sao mày xí á
kar khat ju ni hi
không nghe cả
ni chuan in tina siat turin in tin ta siat turin tang awin I vakilanga
hai le so ka pa nang han thal la
khale tlang pa chu siamo in tin ta siat turin va ro le in tinin arva emo lui sa emo khamual sa emo dap turin chung khat pa chuak chung mai ro se
le
The village crier hurries off to make that exciting announcement.
khai ngun takin lo nga charo u khai kum thum lai mai tram pui mi thi kan to ka tuna hian avur kum kan lo theng ta chuwangin lalin choi rual hun abuat sai dona chumia tan chuan khabial za lai ani ang chung tin ten sa ei rual theu tur ani awangin ar nei zong ten ar tal tur ani anei lo ten pasal tha te thang kam tur tin an wak chua kanga luilam kalmi te luilama kal tur ani ti chuan choi rual hun buat saina chuan ahunatan lal in khabial zana ani ang ati ani chu.
Thus, Pawl Kut begins this way. It is one of the most colorful festivals of the Mizos, celebrated in the month of January, a time when harvest is just over. It is believed that Pawl Kut was originally meant only for the children, but over time, young men, women, even old folks too participated, and soon it became a community feast, a Thanksgiving feast. The villagers are quick to respond. Preparation begins at every level. In the evening, the women are busy engaging themselves crushing rice grain to make it into a Mizo delicacy known as changban, a sticky edible substance made from rice powder when tied up with leaves and boiled. For the community feast, the men slaughter a pig or vok in Mizo. Almost the entire parts are taken apart to prepare a sumptuous meal. Pork, or voksa, is an important part of the festival for the simple reason that without it, no big festival like this one would be complete, as the Mizo's palate always welcome pork. The Pawl Kut festival has begun. The chief makes his arrival. The villagers gather to greet the chief in the most respected manner. Young men and women dance by swaying themselves to the beat of the drum, kwang, and the gongs, dar, in a dance known as kwalam.
Khai
Once again, the village crier makes an impassioned announcement on the arrival of the chief, calling all the subjects to be on the festival ground.
Voin hi Pawl Kut man ni tur ani awang in lal muala ron chua kom vekto tur ani pitar putar nula tlangwal zong te kher pui veng lam te lal mual lam te veng mong lam te kha ron chua kom vek turin lalin ati ani cho.
The villagers, young, old, children, adults, waste no time in flocking together, being enthused by the spirit of the lovely celebration. The ceremony schedule starts off with the pipuzai, or the dumdutzai. It is a haunting melody sung by the old folks who are holding the fort during the day, while almost all the able-bodied go out into the paddy fields. To soothe their loneliness, the old men and women hum these lines. The name Dumdut is an onomatopoeia of the sound of the drum used to accompany the tune. Chanting an impassioned battle cry, this man is a basalta, a respected successful warrior and hunter. He does this to usher in a war dance known as sarlamkai or solakia. This is an impressive dance, popular especially among the Boy and Mara tribes of Mizoram. In the olden days, when the different tribes of Mizoram were constantly at war with each other, a ceremony to deride the vanquished beheaded skull of the enemy was usually held by the victor. This ceremony is performed to ensure that the vanquished soul remains a slave to the victor, even when the latter dies. Any person who organizes an occasion for such a ceremony is highly regarded and respected by the people, the king, as well as his elders. Therefore, every adult strives with all his capability to be such a hero. When faced with any external aggression, the courage and bravery of such heroes is a great consolation for the people. In this dance, songs are not sung. Only gongs or cymbals or drums are used for making beats. Boys and girls standing in alternate position dance in circles. They generally wear colorful dresses, while the leader is dressed as a warrior. What you see is a popular folk dance, Zhonglaizhen, belonging to one of the Mizo communities known as Boy. It is performed in festivals and also to celebrate trophies brought home by successful hunters. On such occasions, it is performed in groups of large numbers. Boys and girls standing in rows dance to the beat of drums. Shawls are used to keep the movement of the arms, which also adds color to the dance. The sound of the drums is the only accompaniment music. Specially packed changbam, known as changbai, are being passed around as a token of best wishes to the celebrants. It is prepared by the women on the eve of the festival. There's a lot of exciting activities at Pawl Kut. One such is to play with bamboo stilts known as Pawl Kut. Mounting on a pair of stilts, children tries to kick each other down from their artificial walk and also organizes racing match. It is also their pleasure to showcase sophisticated moves. When children go out to play at the neighborhood or on the streets, they are said to go on ponto. Children love to do this, and they instinctively rush out of their homes for ponto. Sometimes children, as seen here, form a long line by holding on to each other's bag or hand and run around with memorized tunes. There are many games done during the ponto hours, including ones that are specific to a particular region or village. Another dance solemnly performed is this dance, chhuah lam. Chhuah lam literally means dance of the guest. It is a dance usually performed in a ceremony called quang choi. In order to claim a distinguished place in a society and to have a place in paradise or pielral, one has to attain the coveted title of thang chhuah. There are two ways of attaining this title. First, one could attain the title of thang chhuah by providing one's mettle in war or in hunting by killing many animals, which should include animals like deer, barking deer, wild boar, bear, wild gale, viper, hawk, and so on. Second, one could also get the title of thang chhuah by performing various ceremonies which include offering series of several community feasts and dances. Thang chhuah, therefore, could be attained only by the brave and by the rich. The ceremonies performed in the second method are known as quang choi. Guests invited from other villages at the quang choi ceremony enter the arena dancing chhuah lam. Traditional hand-woven mizo cloth known as buandum is wrapped over the shoulders and the dance is performed by swaying the cloth. Buandum has the colors black, red, yellow, and green stripes. As most other folk dances of the Mizos, this dance is accompanied by a set of gongs known as darbu, and no song is sung. Generally, large number of dancers perform the dance. Climbing trees is one of the passions of the Mizo children. In this play, children compete with each other to blow a whistle placed at a certain height on a bamboo post, on whose end is attached a dried wildcat or sanghar. This is the Kwai Lam. Kwai literally means bee and lam is dance. If a household has accumulated more than 100 headloads of grain using cane basket known as doron or am, then they normally conduct this dance occasion. 100 headloads is a huge amount, going by their standard, and so this occasion is meant to feed the economically deprived or some household that doesn't have enough to feed themselves. A basket full of rice is placed in the middle of a circle where ladies with honeycombs stand. A man acting as a bee is kicking down the rice from the basket onto the ground, which gets collected by the poor. Before the basket is emptied, the organizer of the dance again fills it up, and the same process gets repeated. In this game, the children, with one foot held up by one hand, limps about, trying to bring down opponents by bumping into each other. In many ways, it is similar to the game cockfighting. Perhaps the most well-loved of the Mizo dance, even today, is this dance, known as Jero. It is a very old traditional dance of the Mizos. It is believed that the dance had already existed way back in the 1st century AD, while the Mizos were still somewhere in the Yunnan province of China, before their migration into Qin Hills in the 13th century AD, and eventually to the present Mizoram. Some of the tribes living in Southeast Asia also have similar dances in one form or the other, bearing different names. Jero is usually performed on the occasion of Buza'ai, a bumper harvest by an individual family. It is not a community dance, but a dance performed by a few selected girls with exceptional skills. Performed in marriage ceremonies and other merrymakings, it celebrates success. On such occasions, huge crowds gather to watch the proud performance of Jero dance by the few skillful dancers. It is also performed on moonlit nights. Undoubtedly, Jero is the most popular and colorful dance of the Mizos. Men, sitting face to face on the ground, tap long pairs of horizontal and cross bamboo staves, open and close in rhythmic beats. Girls in colorful Mizo costumes of Guanzei, Gorzei, Vakiria, and Tinna dance in and out between the beats of bamboo. This dance is now performed at almost all festive occasions. The unique style of the Jero is a great fascination everywhere it is performed. Gongs, dar, and drums, chhuah, are used to accompany the dance.
Dar queen idea so yemi heti e ma chui thang vai min ko tir le zai le ma khwa tla ya ol mang e ti le ro le khwang be.
You are going to see another dance known as the Chailam, which originated after the year 1900 on the lines of a song genre known as Bumazai that gave birth to a dance known as Tlanglang. It is a dance that embodies the spirit of joy and exhilaration. It is performed to the accompaniment of a song called Chaitla. Normally, people squat around in a circle on the floor, singing to the beat of a drum or a bamboo tube, while a pair of dancers stand in the middle, reciting the lyrics and dancing along with the music. It was a dance performed over a round of rice beer in the cool of the evening. The lyrics are impromptu compositions, abound in their heroic deeds and escapades, while at the same time praising the honored guest present in their midst. While singing the song accompanied by the sound of the drum or hand clapping, an expert dancer performs his dance, chanting verses with various movements of the body, with the knees bent stooping low, and limbs close to the body and crouching low to the ground. As the tempo rises and the excitement increases, people squatting on the floor leave their seats and join him. Guests present are also invited to join the dance. Chailam is performed on any occasion with colorful costumes, normally in the evenings when the day's work is over. Another dance popularly performed is this dance, chai. In this dance, men and women stand alternatively in circles, with the women holding on to the waist of the men and the men onto the women's shoulders. In the middle of the circle are the musicians who play the drums and the mithun's horn. The musician playing the drum choreographs the entire nuances of the dance, while the one with the mithun's horn chants the lyrics of the chai song. For the dance to start, the drummer beats the drum, and upon the fourth stroke of the drum, the chai song is sung with the rhythmic swing of the dancers to the left and right, in accordance with the beats of the drum. Depending on the nuances followed, the chai lam has 4 versions: chai lam thai pakhat na, chai lam thai panit na, chai lam thai pathum na, and chai lam thai pali na. The dancers sing as they dance and use only few musical instruments. Perhaps the most important element that glorifies Pawl Kut is a practice known as chhuah. This is done to signify their happiness as a result of successful harvest. Here, at the evening of the festival, about the time of preparation of dinner, to indulge in chhuah, initiated by the children, the village folks go to the village square, or more commonly, as seen here, near the memorial platforms of the departed, just outside the village. The participants, putting on their best attires, head toward the spot. Every household donates its specially prepared rice, meat, and eggs for the purpose. The excited villagers then stuff these food items into one another's mouth amidst the atmosphere of unparalleled merriment. Seen like someone running after somebody to stuff his or her mouth with eggs is a common sight. They eat it till they can chomp down no more. The ceremony is over, but not the day, for a big feast for the entire community is being laid out on the chief's courtyard. It is the time of feast, as excited, hungry village folks huddle in groups of about 5 at the various spots on the ground, squatting in circles, relishing the day's feast. They help themselves generously from the bamboo leaves or chang which is served as a plate. The extraordinary merrymaking throughout the day has made it impossible to tell when exactly darkness sets in. And across the streets, well-fed villagers belt out tunes of happiness. When finally all the villagers go to sleep, the moon up above is smiling on that little community, for it knows that from that day forward, for generations to come, Pawl Kut will always be celebrated by the Mizos.